This morning for the TLC feature, we are focusing on an NPO called GrowZA, but they're not just a normal NPO. They are a social investment agency. But what exactly does this mean and how do they operate? Well, I can't tell you everything. That is why I've roped in the founder and CEO of GrowZA, Craig Kensley. Craig, thank you so much for chatting to me this morning. Now, I just mentioned you are an NPO, and when people think NPO, they think an organization that goes out and they help in the communities. But you are a social investment agency that started in 2020. What exactly does that mean and how do you operate?
Hey, Tracey, thanks for having us. Yeah, I think it's interesting, I mean, I grew up, I can say, in the NPO and NGO space. And effectively, GrowZA as a social investment agency is a response to the shifting needs of global funders. So we saw that funders coming into the space were looking to partner, and the language of what impact looks like has shifted. So we've all heard this term sustainability, and we've heard references to things like ESG, which is environment and social and governance standards. And so GrowZA really speaks to that space, providing measurable solutions that align with these standards. So it's a translation job. It's speaking the language of the funder and then driving those resources onto the ground in partnership with other NGOs.
So now it makes sense why you describe yourself as a South African NPO that understands business. Why is understanding business so important to what you do?
More and more, I mean, we've moved away from this discourse around kind of charity and doing good. It's very much a part of how businesses need to show up in communities, and more it's baked in to how kind of commercial deals are structured. And so partnership in that space is important, and we saw the need for entities like ourselves to show up and demonstrate that we understand the pressures that you have in terms of your sustainability scorecards, your BEE scorecards, and so on. We get it. How do we then translate that intent so that there's shared value for the community, but also for that corporate actor who's showing up?
So you're saying there are people who are willing to fund and assist in whichever way possible, but in which areas are they looking at? Are you only looking at South Africa?
We have a BRICS focus. So we activate all across Africa, but there's a lot of intent and energy now in the BRICS space, and I mean, we understand why that is from a kind of macroeconomic and macro-political perspective. But the multinationals that are coming into Africa really have very, very good intent and are very, very open in terms of how they are applying their social investment funds and budgets. And so that takes us, I mean, all over the continent, and quite frankly, that takes us all over the world.
For anyone listening now going, cool, I'm just a regular person, I'm just Tracey listening now, is there any way I can assist? Can I assist you? Do I go to growza.co.za and assist? Or do I reach out to the company that I'm working at and go, listen here's a place that can help us with our CSI? What's the process there?
Yeah, I think largely it's the latter, Tracey. I mean, we often kind of underestimate the power of our social networks. It's about sitting around these tables of influence and going, well, there are entities out there that can help us. There are entities that can advise. I mean, I often use a simple dynamic. If you're going to build a bridge, you're not going to go to a plumber to do that. You're going to go to a civil engineer. And so when we are having discussions around development and working with communities, we must also come to the development professionals, and that's who we are.
Craig Kensley, founder and CEO of GrowZA. GrowZA.co.za has all the information. Or pop me a WhatsApp, and I'll send you all the details. Thank you, Craig.